Greetings and hello. This here is the ancient spirit tralaka here, flowing here in spirit through the vocal cords of groovyev. Now, today we're going to talk about some more of these questions I'm being asked by the people who are writing me, as well as some pre-questions they haven't asked yet, but we're going to talk about today, okay? Let's get down to it. Now, the ancient spirit tralaka, if you have been listening from video number 1, where everything began in this connection I have with the ancient spirit tralaka, all through these videos is a telling of a story of many stories, true stories, absolutely true. These stories explaining about things happening around the life that tralaka was having at that particular time in the live stream, or that particular live stream, and so forth. Now, tralaka here in his sharing information with me, he likes to talk about the bigger things. Unlike that song I really love from Alice Cooper, that it's the little things. No, with tralaka, he's always talking about the bigger things, the essential things. So beings of other planets, of other star systems can understand that they have the ability, that they have that strength to take and change the parameters of their existence, to enlarge those parameters, as well as enlarging their understanding and their conceptions of how they're going to do things in their lives. All right, it's very important. Now, all these videos are telling a storyline, a very personal storyline. This last video that was put out, video 111A, this was an extremely emotional video. I cannot remember just how many different takes and redos I had to do in that video, because I had tears coming down my eyes from something I didn't even understand at the time until I had finished writing. And then, because when I'm writing, I don't know what I wrote a paragraph before, no idea, because I just keep on writing until the writing stops. And then I'll go back, look at the information, put in the little punctuation points, and arrange the paragraphs in a more understandable manner. And then, and only then, do I actually start rehearsing to make sure that my vocal cords, I've had over 5 strokes, and my body's been through a lot throughout my career. So sometimes I have to rehearse. It takes a whole lot longer to get my vocal cords around certain types of pronunciations. From the ones that I miss, one of those things. But now, getting back to it now, always talking about the bigger things, on how, in tralaka's different lives, and how things occurred on different planets, how things were understood in a means of trade as well as law. Now, you find that in a lot of the videos that tralaka has been willing to give information about people's ancient life streams, there's a few little things tralaka will not discuss about people's ancient life streams. One is what happened in your immediate last lifetime to the last couple last lifetimes, because they are not really relevant in the bigger picture of understanding who you are. Okay, very important to understand there. Let's get the bigger picture than just looking a little peeky, looking around the corner. That's not going to help you much. But when you start understanding the bigger picture on all these bigger things you have done in your past, the past, present, and future is a simultaneous thing. The living universe is always mysterious and will always be mysterious, because there's so many different universes within the living universe that we haven't even started to talk about yet, that I haven't gotten any information from yet. I'll get it eventually. But with these videos that he puts out, he's sharing information about the bigger picture on what you can grow to become again, or grow to overcome that has been hanging on your rear tailgate for quite a long time, holding you down, pulling you down in your life because you're not understanding other equations. So a lot of this talk that the ancient spirit tralaka comes through me is to help you understand what those things are that are like so many lifetimes before still hanging on your tailgate that you don't understand. Because when you're on earth here, they teach you from birth. Those little friends that you think you see when you're a child, oh, they don't exist. Oh, those things that are moving stuff around that most people cannot see around in the house, oh no, they don't exist either. And then they try to put you into a belief, and they say, well, it's for your better good. Well, no, it's not. It's not for your better good, because it is going to hold you down from understanding who you are. Your inner spirits have so much energy and so much understanding. And yes, there are those out there. And I'm going to talk about this for the first time. We're going to talk about this for the first time. There are humanoids on this planet that do not have an inner spirit, like 99.79% of the beings on this planet do. There are those who have what tralaka likes to call a manufactured spirit. It's not like your inner spirit and my inner spirit. It's done deliberately so they can control them within your lifetime. They have programmed them for on the planet Earth to hold you down, to keep the information away from you, to keep you from understanding that you're being railroaded all this false information while they're ripping you off of your savings, while they're stealing all the gold and selling it off planet. This is actually true. This is happening. This is happening. It's happened before. It's happening again. The gold shipments going off of this planet in trade for technology and not getting this planet's ass kicked in a war that we can't possibly win without help of our own. Now, getting back to it, now, listen to the videos. It's very important because a lot of those videos have those screens that move across while you're listening for you to get other information. Tralaka is very unique about that. Sometimes he likes to put extra information on the screen that he's not actually talking about. These are geared for the people who are waking up, because they're the ones that go to notice that the information on the screen is a whole lot more than just the information that you're hearing with your ears. It's important to take notes, to understand that it just could have been some other being. If it wouldn't have been the ancient spirit tralaka, it could have been some other entity, inner spirit from a different life, different timeline. But no, this arrangement was made for this timeline now on planet Earth, and it's a good combination. It works good on my part. But the little things, just the little things. We had to come to some agreements. I unloaded a lot of things out of my life, so there wasn't so much static up in the brain cells from doing too many things at the same time. I eliminated a lot of those things, and some of those other things got taken away from me without me even knowing it was part of the plan. However, it allowed me to expand the mind to be able to understand the signals that were coming into me for quite a long time. So when your life, when you get rid of a lot of that dross in your life, a lot of that extra stuff you don't need anymore, you can start understanding bigger things. All right. Now, one of the listeners was wondering about, well, why can't just anybody else do as I'm doing? I said, well, the first video explains this stuff. The very first video. And then there's also other videos that talk about this arrangement that I have with both my inner spirit and an ancient part of my inner spirit.
So it's kind of like having it in stereo coming to me. It's a very unique situation. It took quite a while to get figured out. However, when you get this when you start getting information, one, you got to start writing it down. Not in the electronic stuff, but actually, or at least make sure it's printed on paper with black ink, preferably. Oh, purple's fine, or blue's even fine, but preferably black ink. And make sure you keep an actual file for it in your thing, because you're aiding in the manifesting of this information onto your physical plane upon which you are existing. Very important to understand. Now, whatever. No. This is very, very important, which is why I've had so many notes, as well as the actual typing up, to make sure that should something happen to me, my stuff will still be in print, and the people that are very close to me, they'll know what to do with the information, whichever. However, now let us get back to the point. Now, this information through these videos are to aid you in opening up, to aid you in understanding that there is so much more out there. This is not a one-shot deal. This is not a good or a judgment. No, this is, ignore that stuff. No, it's important to understand how you exist in your understanding. You may think, well, no, that don't make any sense. It makes a whole lot of sense from a higher perspective. How do you exist within your three-dimensional form? How is the relationship between your inner spirit and your outer extension, the physical body? All right. How is that relationship between your outer expression, your character, and your personalities, which is a physical aspect of that outer extension? Now, just because you have intellect, it doesn't mean you're connecting with your inner spirit on a even Steven manner. Okay? Important to understand. All right. Now, when you start to learn the remembrance of meditating, now this is important because when you really start taking it serious that you're going to start meditating, you're not learning. No, most of you are not learning anything actually new. What is happening is you're plugging the right circuits in your mind with your inner spirit to connect to data ports that will help you in the remembering of the meditation. Not so much this junk that's out there. A lot of these new age movements there, it's about the money. It's not actually about helping you. It's a tough market out there. However, when you really start meditating in a conductive and productive manner, as the information starts helping you, there's going to be a lot of different emotional package. I'm going to warn you about this now. A lot of instructors years ago, they didn't do that. However, back in the time, that was about 300 AD, I was making my passage in one of my earth lives to go to the Tibetan monks to study. I ended up getting bushwhacked along the way and ended up taking a spear on his side from one of the Roman centurions, those dirty little dogs. Trick shot. Didn't stick. Oh, it glanced me, didn't go all the way through. So, anyhow, it crippled me a bit. But I spent that lifetime studying in a Tibetan monastery, understanding on how the spirit and the Gaia of this planet, and how they have this unique connection. But religions and so many of the beliefs in that, majority of them, I would say 99.9% of them, are teaching you this disconnection instead of aiding you in having this connection with the Gaia. Now, once again, the Gaias are so incredibly old, but they also serve a purpose. And there are beings above that of Gaias. The tralaka talks about 14th dimensional, even 17th dimensional Gaias. Wow, that's some really high dimensional energy to be able to handle. However, he says there are different beings above the 17th, above the 20th. It's a matter of what we can use of that to be able to properly understand or role in or function on this three-dimensional planet Earth. Okay? Now, when you're meditating, as you know, remember, write everything down. No, shut your phones off, if in a safe manner, so you're not disturbed, because this has to be your time. This has to absolutely be for you, because what? You're worth it, and you deserve it, because it will aid you in so many ways that throwing some coins in for the coffers in the churches will not help you. All right. When you start understanding more about yourself, your understanding of how these paths of these different choices you have in your life, on what they can do for you or against you. All right. Now, this here is the ancient spirit tralaka. There are some extra little tidbit of questions. As always, my friends, understand you are more. You are so much powerful within you. But this has to, that incredible power of your inner spirit has to be able to be controlled by rational intellect. All right? Not bound by false religions and propagandas. Good night.